Hello guys, it's Kazeem here, and I'm really sorry for not dropping in video for a long time. I had some issues and it's all been fixed. So let's get back to where we stopped. We stopped at actually installing WordPress on our online server. So I will just search for let me just search for Kazeem Quadri. So you can always check my YouTube channel to check our previous video. So this was the last video we worked on. So we just continue from where we left off. So let's go back here. So I'll just close this. And after installing WordPress and we have logged into your WP admin, which you can see right here, and I'm signed in as admin here, you would find this dashboard. So what I'll just be doing is just take us through everything about WordPress step by step. So the first thing we would want to know about is first of all, when we get to this part of WordPress, we have to understand why everything is this way. So originally WordPress was created for blog use. So websites that were created on WordPress originally were for blogs only. So but later on it was modified for basically almost anything. So you can use WordPress to create a social media website. You can use WordPress to create a business listing website. I'm even currently working on one, and you can use WordPress to do so many other types of websites. And my portfolio page here was created using WordPress also. So back to this part. So when we first come here, I would just simply follow everything one by one here. So we have our dashboard here, and if we look at our dashboard very well, we have welcome to WordPress and get started. So you can, your next step, you can just edit your front page, add additional pages, view your site, manage widgets, manage menus, turn comments on or off, learn more about getting started. You don't have to worry about any of these that is here. And even site status, we can still leave this for now. Quick draft, we can leave this. At a glance, we just have one post on our website. We'll check that out soon. We have 2 pages, we have 1 comment, and site activity, we just have this dummy comment on our website and events that are related to WordPress. So this fetches in real time for major news that are affecting WordPress. So probably meetups that are having, or as you can see, the WordPress 5.5 is coming out soon. So this is just version 5.4. So other meetups that are online, some like this is cancelled due to the pandemic and stuff like that. So what I'll be doing next is to just, since we're following this pattern, so we have home of the dashboard, so we can click on updates. Now when you get here, you just see something like this if you follow the video, but some of us might have to, you might see something here saying update your plugin, update your theme. So this page basically is just to update all your plugins and your theme that you used on your WordPress site. So if you have any plugin and it has a new version, you would find it here. If you have any theme that has a new version already, you'll find it here and you can choose to update it whenever you like. And if WordPress itself has a new version, you would find it here. So when version 5.5 comes out, you will definitely find our update here. So we can check our main website, our design. So you can click on this, but I just want to open this on a new tab. So I'll right click and open a new tab. So you just have a basic website. Hello world, welcome to WordPress. And this is looking a bit not like what we want, but at the end of this series we'll be able to round up on all that. So so we can just go back to our dashboard, and since we're done with our update section, we can go over to post. So you just click on post. So here we have just one post here, and it's titled Hello World. This is automatically with every WordPress that comes. So you have this post here, it's just a dummy post. You can just see what it looks like, so you can view. So when you hover over here, you see some options. So I just right click to view. So I have views. So it's just saying, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start writing. So this is just comments, and also everything here is still dummy for now. And we can just close that. So what we want to do now is, if you look at our main website, so we still have that first post here. So let's just go over how posts are being created on WordPress. So we just click on add new. So I think from version 5 of WordPress, they changed from the classic editor to the block editor. And I actually like the block editor because it's simple and straightforward. You don't have to stress yourself enough. And you don't have to have this whole coding knowledge to even actually edit anything. Although, yeah, WordPress, you don't need to have any coding knowledge, but still, you might want to do some things that the classic editor can't do, but the block editor gives you that freedom to always do that. So you make everything with blocks. So it's basically how the internet works. So everything in HTML are based on boxes. So you can just call them blocks. So it's same thing. So let's just get started. So we can just close this, and what we have here is we can add a title for our blog post. So I'll just simply do this. I'll go over to my website, and I have this post here, my best website for learning. So you can always check this out, since we're all at home right now and everybody has to just take time to learn something new. So I will just copy this title. So Ctrl C and come back here and paste it. Now the next part says start writing or type to choose a block. So what I want to do first is, when someone wants to read this post, I want a picture to first of all show there. So what I'll do is click on this plus button, add a block, and I want an image to be there. So I can just choose, or I can choose, since I don't have any image here yet, so I can just click on upload and go over to my pictures on my laptop and have a folder for pictures like that. So I can pick this, and pick this and click on open. So what I want here is, once you get to this post, the first thing you should see is this picture after the title. So the next thing I want is 2 sections. So let's add 2 sections. So one for text, one for text, and one for picture. So let's just do layout elements. So we can choose columns. So it's going to ask us how many columns and how do we want to start. We just want 2 columns, since we have one for text and one for pictures. So in this column, I want to add a title, so heading. And for the heading, I want to say learning. And after that, I want to add a subtitle and a paragraph. So I'll just simply copy from here and paste it here. So for here, I want to add a picture. So I can add image, and I can choose to add insert from URL. So what I'll do is I will copy the so when you right click on an image on Chrome, so it's going to show you save image as copy image link. So I will just want to copy the image link and insert from URL and paste this here, and just click on apply here. So you see the image automatically loads at once. So that's one of the benefits you get from inserting from links. So if you have images that you don't have on your website and you don't want to always download every image every time, you can just simply just insert the image using the URL. That's one of the cool features that comes with using WordPress block editor. So I think that's all we want of our post. So we come over to this section on our right hand, and we have something called document and we have block. So let's just go over document for the first. Now we see status and visibility. We have visibility public, so you can always edit this. If you don't want everybody to see this post, you can just click on this and say private to site admins and editors, password protected. So in case you want people that only have passwords to read a certain post, you can always do that. So if I click on this, it's going to ask me for a secure password, but I don't want that, so I just leave it as public. And Also, when do you want this post to be published? So in case you, let's assume, or we don't want our post to be, we want to organize ourselves. So let's just say we won't be available to post anything in the next 3 months. So we can choose to set a time and date for our post to be published. So I selected September 2nd, but I don't want that. I just want it to be published immediately. So so we'll go back to August and just leave it like that. So now, do you want this to be the first thing people read? So that's what it means by stick on top of blog. So if there are many posts there, you want this should be the first post people read. So you can always click on that, but you just leave it. So pending review. Now this is used for post. Let's assume you have an organization and there are so many people posting on your website, but you have a chief editor so that reviews everything everyone posts before it gets out there. So you avoid issues with copyright and the likes. So you can also click on this pending review to ensure that your editor reads it and approves it before it goes out there. So that's it. So let's just close this and go over to the next section, categories. So when you click on categories, you see that we just have one category uncategorized. So we can create a new category. So categories, so it helps your users or you yourself to actually know what category this post is based on. So this post is based on learning. So I just have a category called learning. So if let's assume I have this category was fashion, assuming, or let's just say men's fashion if we're specific. Men's fashion, and so men's fashion definitely has to have a parent category which is fashion. So if they were created fashion already, so this will be under the parent category fashion. So but this is still learning, so let's just change that back so it doesn't have any parent category. So we leave it like that and we say add new category. So automatically it creates the category and adds the post to that category. So you can add more than one category. So we know we can also do personal and add that also. So I have my post that is under 2 categories. So let's just leave it like that. And tags for you to easily find posts relating to that. And also it helps for search engine optimization. So I just know it's learning. So if you want to add multiple tags without pressing enter, you can just use comma. So sorry, learning, personal, now website, and let's just leave it like that. And that's added those 3 tags. So we can close this. Now featured image. If you look at this post that I have on my website, you see this image at the background here. It's called a featured image. So that's like the biggest image or the first image you see, depending on the design of your website. So I just want to add something. So let's just upload something from my laptop. Let's use this and click open and set as featured image and accept. So, but you can just leave this section. You don't really need to bother yourself about this and discussion. So if you want to allow people to comment on this, so on my post here, you can always comment here, and I just made these 2 required. So I'll be able to either respond to anybody's comment. So if you have any issues or you want to add anything to it, you can always comment there. So that's same thing. So you can allow comment and ping backs and track backs. So this also helps with analytics of your website. So you can just leave that checked and post attributes. So what templates? This is just a normal post. There are different, so full width template, cover templates. You can just leave it as our default template. Now let's go over to this block section. Sorry. So if you click on this, earlier I explained to you everything here is a block. So if I click on this image, you notice that this block section is automatically something's added there. So it says that this is an image. So if you want to add styles to it, so you want to make it rounded corners, you want to make it just the default corners, you want to, so you can just select that here. Then also image settings, you can add an alternative text. So in HTML, images are simply type this way. So you say img src, then this is where you put the link of the image, and you have alt. In case the image doesn't load, what loads first is this alt, the text here. So this explains whatever is in this image. So we can just add man in car. So just leave it like that. Now image size, thumbnail, you can leave this unchecked depending on whatever you want. So if you want to make the image bigger or anyhow, you can just add any of your settings to that. I don't want to do any of that, so I just leave it this way. And if you click on advanced, you can put the title attributes, and also if you want to add a css class, so that if you are proficient with using html and css, you can always add your css class here. So in case you want to write separate css code for this image, you can always do that. And also you see, if you click on this different block, it has different settings for different types of blocks. So let's publish that to see what I've done. So now you see it's going to ask you for the time to publish. So if you notice, the time I have here, it's different from the time here. So you can actually post something that displays as if it has been posted for a long time. It's your website, you can choose what you want. So publish. So it has been published. If you see the notification down here, so you can just click on view post. So you see how our post is being displayed. So if you notice, this was our featured image, and this was how we designed it to look like. So based on the next part we're talking about, would explain why it looks like this. So if you notice, these are the two categories we have here, and no comment yet. And if you look down here, we have the tags that are related to this post. So I can just go back, or simply just click on this to go back to my dashboard. So I think that covers the basics of post. So you can add post. This is how to just clicking here takes you to add new posts directly, and we have categories, we have tags. So let's leave that section and go over to media. So media simply are the images and videos you have uploaded on your website. So I have uploaded about 7 images here. So you can also upload videos, but I don't want to do that for now because we're having this maximum upload size 2 MB, and I currently don't have any video that's lesser than 2 MB. So let's just leave it. We can upload pictures that are 2 MB. On that, this 2 MB sometimes is actually set by your hosting provider for security issues, and also if you are very good with using WordPress, you can always change that 2 MB to any amount you want. So it's not really limited that way. So you still have add new here, so it's the same thing. Both of them do the same thing. So let's go over to the next section. We have pages. So we just click on pages. Now in pages, we have privacy policy, sample page. These are just 2 main pages. We have dummy pages, let me put it that way. So let's just view what is in this page. So click on preview, open a new tab. So I will want to close this and close this also. So it just says basic privacy policy that we have for the website. So this is just written for us in case we want to use it or edit it to our own taste. But we're not doing anything relating to privacy on the website. So let's just close this. And we have a sample page that's just simply what it's called, a sample page. So just this is what it looks like. And let's close that also. So now we can just simply add a new page. We want to create our own page from scratch. So I want to see how it's been done. So a title, let's still use, let's say, new page. And now block. You see, it's similar to how we create post. So you can still do the same, adding an image. So let me just try to add a gallery. So media. So I want to just select different pictures and create a new gallery and insert gallery. So you see my gallery just three columns and six images. So you can edit that here, so you can increase the columns to 4. So if you notice this aligned by itself, you can increase it to 6, you can increase it to 2. So I like this 4 the way it looks. So if you want to link your images to a different, so if you want people to click here and probably download something, on, you can always do that here. And you can image size large, you can choose whatever you want. Then advanced, you can add CSS classes to it, and under documents, just basic settings for this page itself. So you featured image, discussion, if you want comments. So let's also, it's a page, you don't need to have comment on pages, just post. So site visibility, public, immediately, and that page attribute, that's also, you just click on publish. So I can just view this in a new tab. So you see this way it looks, no difference. So just the way we designed it. Okay, so let's go over to the next part. So we have comments. Now comments are basically any part of your website that people have commented on that you want to see. So this automatically shows us all the comments. So we just only have one on our website currently. So if we had more than one, we can actually approve it, we can mark it as spam, we can edit it, we can delete it, we can reply to the comment, whatever I want to do, we can do it. It's our website, we have freedom to do all this. So I'll just leave it like this. We can add new comments ourselves. So it's people that add comments on post. So this takes us to the next section where we have appearance. So under appearance, this is, we have themes, customize, widgets, menus, background, theme editor. So first of all, when you install WordPress from version 5 upward, you have 3 major themes that comes with WordPress. So let me go over what themes are and what I'll be explaining themes and plugins hand in hand. So we have plugins also here. So themes in WordPress are, let's put it this way, let me explain it this way. Themes in WordPress, they are the structural part, or basically everything that holds the website to make it look the way it looks. So you can actually edit the theme to look better. You can choose to use some plugins to make the theme look better or add more features to the theme. But the theme itself was designed for a purpose, so it's going to look like what it was designed for. And also, a plugin adds additional features to the website. So the theme controls the structure, or probably let's just say the look of the website, while plugins add additional features to our website. So let's do this. I don't really like the way my website looks, so I want to change that part. So that's going to be the next thing we're working on. So we see, this is what we see when it comes to our website. So first of all, I don't want to use these two themes. So we have 2019 and 2017. So first of all, let me delete them. So I can just click on this and you see delete my bottom right. So I click on delete and click OK. So you see it's deleted. So I can do the same thing for 2019 and click on delete and click on OK. Now we just have one theme here. So we can simply add a new one. So I'll add new. And when you want to add, you can simply just search for the theme you're looking for here. Or there are 2 ways to do that also. So you can download your theme from a different provider. So let's go over to wordpress.org. So let's just say wordpress.org. So now you see, if we go over here and click on themes, there's something unique about this. So you see all these themes we have here, they are the same theme that are being displayed here. So if I search for, let's say my favorite theme is Ocean WP, so I just search for Ocean WP. So I find Ocean WP here. If I come back here and search for Ocean WP, and I find Ocean WP here, so simple. So if let's just do let's think of something, hello. I search for hello here. So it gives me themes that have hello there. So let's search for hello also here. Same thing. So you can either download. So let's do this. I want to download Ocean WP. No, let me download hello from here and install Ocean WP from there. So I click on download here. So save, and I come over to theme. So you can either choose to install your theme from here. So you see install, you didn't see download here. While in this page we found download here, but here we're seeing install because this doesn't have to download, it can install automatically since we are online. But this we have to download then upload it to our own website. So let's upload the theme. So you can click on upload theme and choose file. So we just go over to downloads because that's where we have this. So we just click on hello Elementor, click on open. So click on install now. So I can just close this. So you see installing theme from uploaded file, unpacking package, installing theme installed successfully. So we can just click to activate. So whenever I install the theme, before you see the changes, you have to activate the theme. So I'm going to click on activate. Now, because we installed this theme, we have this notification here because this theme was created by Elementor. So the best way you use this theme is by using Elementor with it. So, but first of all, we want to see the changes that has been done to our website by installing a new theme. So I can just right click and open a new tab. So first of all, if you notice, our website looks very different from what it looked like before. So this was what our website looked like before, and this is what it looks like now. So simpler, but still we don't like how it looks. But don't worry, we're going to edit everything out the way we want it to be. So now we have installed this, and that means we don't need this anymore. So it's advisable if you are not using any theme or plugin on your website that is deactivated, you should delete it, because for security reasons it's better that way. So I can just click on this and delete this and click on OK. Now I don't want to use hello Elementor, so assuming I just want to use another free theme. Now I forgot to state that the themes you can download from wordpress.org are all free, same as the plugins, and any theme or plugin you can search for in your website and download, they are all for free. So if you want to install external plugins or themes that are paid for some specific things that you can't get, so you can just go to that theme forest. There are some websites that provide that. So if you see, you search for theme forest, you have WordPress themes website template from theme forest. So you can go here and search for basically all the type of paid themes and plugins that will do your job well for you. So don't worry, we'll be going over the themes I use and plugins and for different scenarios. We're going over all that. So back to our manage theme. So we can just click on add new. So I've used the first method by uploading. So we want to use the second method by just searching and installing. So the first method would help us when we download themes from a different provider like this. So when we pay for it and we download it, we can always easily upload it here. But since we are not using any paid theme, we want to use a free one. So we just use theme. Now, sorry, I was supposed to search for Ocean WP, my bad. My favorite theme so far in WordPress. I can just click on install. So just wait for a bit. So once it's installed, we can easily click on activate. So let me just click on activate. Now, if you notice, there was a notification showed here before when we had our hello Elementor theme installed. It told us to install Elementor, fine, but we didn't want to install Elementor for now, so we just left that notification there. Now when we installed Ocean WP, we have this theme recommends the following plugins: Elementor, Ocean Extra, WP Forms. Sure, we're going to install all this, so we just cancel it for now and cancel this. We'll do all that later on. So we have hello elemental. We don't need this anymore, so we can just delete it. Now, under appearance, after themes, we have one other side. So we have customize. So if I click on customize, I want to do this in a new page. So I can just right click and see open in a new tab. So I'll close all the tabs that I'm not using currently. Now, this is where our website looks after we've installed Ocean WP. So we want to customize how this looks without using any plugin to do that. So one of the beautiful things I love about Ocean WP is that it gives us room to customize enough. So when we look at this customize section, we see we have so many options. We can customize the colors, menus, widgets, home page settings, additional CSS. I won't be going over all of them because they differ for different themes. I'll just be going over the major ones. So we have the first one, site identity. It doesn't change. We are always going to have site identity for every theme. So let's click on site identity. So first of all, we notice the site title. This was filled in when we started installing our WordPress on our website. So if you still don't know how to install WordPress, you can check my previous video. I'll be putting the link of that in the video description. So we filled in this detail. So the site title, the tagline, we did all that. Now it's showing us here that we can always edit our site title just from here. We can edit our tagline also from here. So display site title and tagline, you can choose to do that. But let me just uncheck that and see what happens. So immediately you uncheck. If you notice, the site title that was shown here is no more shown there. So we can always just check that back since we're not doing much on this page. Then site icons. So I would explain what the site icons are. Now, when you look at this, my website, you have this icon here, this box stuff here, like an image. You can do the same for your website. So if you notice, our website doesn't have any icon for now, just showing this way. So we just select an icon. So we can simply choose any image on our website. So let's just use this and select. So it's going to ask us to crop the image to fit in the way we want it to be. So I just want to leave it this way and see crop image. So immediately you see it has been changed here. So whenever you make any change to your website, there's something you're always advised to do, to publish, because if you don't publish, you don't actually save the changes you have made to your website. So you just click on publish here. Published. So if I come back here and refresh, I'll notice two major things. The whole design of our landing page has changed, and also our icon up here has changed. So I can just come back here and also refresh to see the change. So you see it has changed here. So this is also called favicon and site icon, whatever it's called. In some places you might see it as favicon, most places it's site icon. So we have changed that. So let's go over to something else that I love about Ocean WP. So when you pay for some when you use some free themes, you don't really have the freedom to be able to customize this footer part. So you see copyright Ocean WP theme by Nick. So I want to change this. I want to just write my name here instead of all this. So I just come over here and see we have footer widgets and we have footer bottom. So we are just going to be using footer bottom for now. So I click on footer bottom and you see the same thing here. So copyright Ocean WP date, Ocean WP theme by Nick. So what I want to do is I just want to write copyright and say Kazeem Quadri. Now what we have here is called shortcode. This type of bracket, and we have Ocean WP underscore date. It's called a shortcode. Now this shortcode is used for something. Now if you look here, you don't see any change here, but when we installed the required plugins that the site the theme is asking us to install, especially this Ocean Extra, we would see that we would have our date here. So the year we are currently, so that's 2020, is going to be written here. automatically, and it's going to change for every year, and you don't have to always come back here and change the settings. I used the same thing here. So we have copyright 2020 created with love by me. So that's the thing. So this changes every year. So I don't always have to come back here and change it every time. So I can just leave this way, and I like every other setting the way it is. So you can always change the background color. You can use any, so you see it's changing. So I just want to leave it as black. And the text color, I want to just make it pure white. And don't forget to always publish. So I would just be stopping customize here because we don't really want to do much with this theme, and I don't want us to be glued to this particular theme because there are other themes out there. So you won't be restricted to the thought of every team would have the same settings. So I don't want to dive into all these settings. We'll just leave it the way they are and go over to whatever we have next. So I'll just be closing this tab since I'm not going to be using that anymore. And after customize, we have something called widgets. So let me just open this also in a new tab. So under widgets, we have something called available widgets. We have default sidebar, left sidebar, search results sidebar, footer 1, footer 2, footer 3, footer 4. Now, basically, all these are sections in our website. So let me show you an example. Let's have in our footer 1, let's add gallery. So you can just simply drag any of these widgets. So these widgets are simply probably images, text, whatever you want to put in these particular places. So you can just drag this gallery and drag it here, or let me delete this. You can just click on this drop down button and select where you want to put it, so you don't have to always drag every time. So you can just click on footer 1 and click on add widget. Now you can always give a title to this gallery. Since we're adding a gallery, so we can say, first of all, I want to add the images I need. So I will just add 4 images. I want to leave it that way. So create a new gallery. So you can set the columns of the new gallery. So I want to make it 2, so 2 by 2, random order, and just leave every other setting that way. So insert into gallery. So I want to just call this gallery, so it's plain. So I click on save. Now, how do we see our change? So just refresh here. So if you notice, this our footer 1, and this is the widget we just added. So if we click on this, it's just taking us to the page whereby the image is uploaded. So we don't want that. So we just leave it this way, and you see the images we added, and this is still divided into 4 other sections. So we just have gallery here in case we added something else in every other page. So we just have recent post in footer 2. So we add widget, and number of posts to show, we just want only 3. Sorry, so reduce that 3. So recent post, we can call this recent post and save. So you can always refresh again to see our recent posts. So these are the 2 major posts we have on our website. So it's just showing us only 2. So in case we want to add more things to our footer button, so we can always add that here. So we just have each section. So we have footer 3 and footer 4 and so on. So I think I've explained a bit of what widgets are. So this is just basically going to just, I'm going to be touching everything one by one. So we have the next part called menus. So I believe that we all understand what menus are, but let's just go over how to create a menu in WordPress. So if we check our website, we don't have any navigation menu here. Nothing is, we don't know what page we are going to or what exactly we're doing here. So menus really help guide the user on how to best use your website. So people just check on home, about this blank stuff. So let's go back to menus and want to create a new menu. So we just call it anything. You can just call it menu and see create menu. Voila, we have our menu here. But that is not just as simple as that. So we can add what we want in our menu, because having a menu is just one thing. Editing to what we want is the main thing there. So first of all, I want us to add some pages to our menu. So you can just click on view all. So this is under pages. So you can have our home page, you can have new page, we have sample page. So let's just add new page and home page. So just add to menu. So these are pages already created in our website. So we have home, it's still going to be our landing page, and new page is also new page. So next thing I want us to do is click on this. Now you have to make this menu our main menu in our website. So you just click on main menu and add it to our mobile menu. So in case for people that are viewing our website with their mobile phone, so you just click on save menu. Don't forget to always save and come back here and refresh. So we have two menus showing here. So we have home and at the same time we have new page. So if I click on new page, it takes me to new page, and if I click on home, it brings me back home. Simple as that. So you can add other things to our menu. We can add post. So I can just add this post here and add to menu. So I can even add custom links, which I like. So you can just do hash. And since we have not created different pages, using hash makes it just refresh that whole page. So we can add link text. So we can just say about us and add to menu. And when we're done with that, we can always save and come back here and refresh. So if you see, we have two new links. So my website for learning, if I click on this, it takes me to the post. So this is the URL link for the post. It's quite long though, but we'll still fix that. So this is the post, or if I click on about us now, so if you notice what happens, it just added hash to the URL, and that's it. Nothing happened because it's just a custom link that we added something there. So let's assume in our about us we want to add google.com instead of this. So say www.google.com and we save menu and come back here and refresh. So if you click on about us, it takes us to google.com. So it's a bit different. So you see that we can always change whatever we want in that custom link to anything. So we can just go back to our website and we can always mess around here to get a better knowledge of how things work in WordPress. And it's advisable to actually, after watching this video, go back yourself and practice everything over and over again. Try new things. You learn new things by trying new things. If you make mistakes, you are learning new things also. So don't be scared. And if you have any issues, you can always drop a comment for me and I always definitely get back to you. So we have the next section here. We have header. So it's still loading. Now, the header, it brought us to this header media here, and that header was added based on the theme we are using. So upload a video or whatever you want, or your YouTube URL link or a header image. So I just want to add an header image. So just add new image. And let's use this. I take this picture, to select and crop. So I want it to just show a bit more of the ocean. So crop image. So let's wait to see the change. So if it's taking a bit of time, you can just click on publish here. and go back to the home page. So you just click on home. So if you notice, what's changed was just this section. So the image was added to this section of our website. So it just made it the background, and we don't want that. So that's what header does. So you can just go back here and click on hide image, and also click on this cancel button and publish. So if you come back here and refresh, you see that there's no more image there. So that's basically what header does. So the next part we have is install plugins. So let me quickly open that in a new tab and let's go at that. So it basically just shows us the required plugins that the team needs. We'll do all this later on when we get to the plugin section. And the last part is theme editor. So when you get to theme editor, you get this notification. You appear to be making direct change to your theme in WordPress dashboard. We recommend that you don't editing your theme, blah, 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 blah. It simply just means that if you are not very good at using WordPress, you should not edit this part of your website. So if you want to edit your theme, you don't come to edit theme editor. There are different ways to edit your whole theme, the look of your website, basically. So you just leave this and say, I understand. Well, you can see all the files here and everything you need, but I don't want to touch any of that. So I'll just go over to plugins. Now, earlier, I explained something to us that plugins give specific functions to our website. So we have plugins for forms, we have plugins to design our website, how it looks to every user out there. We have plugins to do different functions. So there are some plugins that we'll be installing. We'll be installing majorly these 3 plugins throughout the whole tutorial and explaining how to use them. So these are automatic plugins that come with installation of WordPress, but we don't need any of them. So I can just check this. I can either click on delete here, or since I want to delete more than one, I can just check this and click on bulk actions and delete and click on apply. And it will ask, are you sure you want to delete this selected plugin? And that you just click on OK. Be sure you want to delete them. And you see it has deleted the 2 plugins automatically without stress. So we want to add new plugins. So we can either choose to do the same thing. So add new plugin. So you can always search for plugins. So we have different plugins: Jetpack, by WordPress, health check, troubleshooting, body press, and so on. There's so many plugins out there, but we won't be installing of this. We just want to install these 3 only. So just click on begin installing plugins here. And we can just check this button and also bulk action, install, and click on apply. So it's going to do all that for us, and just wait a bit. So it's all done. All our plugins have been installed and they have been activated. So let's just do something first. Let's refresh this page. Okay, so just if you get this notification, you can just simply copy all these and delete them and leave just WP admin there. So this pops up. So many notifications. If you notice, our left hand side has changed. We have Elementor display, we have templates, we have WP forms. Don't be scared. We still have WordPress the way it is. So you might see this. You can just say skip setup. And you don't want any of this. We won't be touching any of this. So let's just get back to plugin. So if you click on plugin editor before we go back to Elementor, same notification. So don't forget, if you want to edit any plugin or anything like that, we don't want to do all this. So we just go back and let's see how to use this plugin. So if you notice, our dashboard has changed. We have WP form shown here, Ocean WP overview here, Elementor overview, and so many others. So first of all, let's see the first change that happened when we installed the 3 plugins we installed just now. So let's refresh this. So if you scroll down, we notice the year is displaying. So I told you earlier that Ocean Extra helps us to make this available, work well, the shortcode to work. So that's one. Now we want to design a whole landing page that will look better than this, because this looks really, really, really terrible. Now, to do that, we have plugins designed just for that. So before I go over how to use the plugins, I just showed you what this plugin can do. So we have, it gave us the correct year. That's what the Ocean Extra plugin did. But I don't want to touch that. I don't want to touch much on plugins for now. So let's just go over other parts on our dashboard. Then we go back to using just one of the plugins and see how to use them. So we stopped at appearance. So let's move on to, we stopped at plugins actually. So let's move on to users. So we have users, and we have just one user here, and that's me. And also we can add new users. So assuming you have, like I gave earlier, that you have multiple people using your website, and you have editors, you have just writers, you have different people like that, you can always create new users. So you can just add new. So just fill in this form: username, email address, first name, last name, website, and any other thing. So the role here, now you can set the person as a subscriber, a contributor, an author, editor, and an administrator. So it's advisable to just set the person as an editor or an author, whatever you choose, and leave administrative access to just you or any other person, maybe your clients that wants it. Most of the time clients don't want that, so you can just leave it that way. So you can just go over to your profile, since we're done with this, and now this is your profile. Basically edits anything you already have when you're creating your user account. So I can add my first name, I can add my last name, nickname, and whatever I want to do. I don't want to touch any of that. I just want to show you one cool thing I can do. So I want to just change my admin color scheme. So I just make it coffee. So you see everything here has changed in color, and I can choose this also. So this looks a bit cooler. I like the touch. So when we are done with that, you can just update profile. So let's go over to tools, and we have available tools. So tools are basically some cool stuff that WordPress added to WordPress to make it more easy to use. So assuming you have a blog that is not based on WordPress or is based on WordPress, and you want to just get all your posts from that blog and ship it over to WordPress, these tools would help you to that. So just assume we want to have import. Just click on import, and we have the different tools to help you import. So if you are importing your post from Blogger or from WordPress itself, probably Tumblr or different platforms you have, there are tools to help you easily do that. So this is for WordPress. You can just install and follow the steps. It's quite easy, and I'm not going to be touching on that. Just leave it. And personal data, erase personal data. We don't want to touch any of this because we don't really need them for now. So settings, we can just click on settings. This is the main part we're going to for today, and after this we could touch the Elementor plugin and we round up the lesson for now. So click on settings. So now in settings we have 7 different categories in our settings. So each setting we just touch what it means and how best to use them. So when we get to general, just basically this is just the basic information about your website. So you have your site title, your tagline. We saw this also when we're handling the customized section. So we have the WordPress address URL and site address URL. It's advisable to just leave these 2 sections the way they are. You can always edit this. So if I don't want my website to Kazeem Quadri, I just want it to be YouTube. So yeah, YouTube, and you see automatically it changes here. So I just don't want that, so I can just undo. and also the administration email address. You can always change this anytime, but you need to just confirm. So membership. So if you want your website, if people log in, create account on your website, you can always check this so anyone can register. Now, new user default rule. So anybody that's registering on your website, what do they automatically become? Do they become a subscriber, a contributor, an author, editor, and an administrator? Whatever you want your users to automatically view. So it's advisable not to just click on this administrator and even editor. So if you want to have editors on your website, you can actually create those accounts for them. So it's easier, it's better that way, and it's more secure. And site language, so you can always change this to your default language in your location. So I just want to leave it as English United States. Time zone UTC+1. So I'm in West Africa. So yeah, we use UTC+1. And date format, you can choose the way you want your dates to be shown. Time format also, I prefer this also. And week starts on my week starts on Sunday, because that's the beginning of a new week to me. So other people believe otherwise, and it's fine. So if you're done with all these settings, you can always click on save changes, and we didn't really edit anything here, so I'll just leave it that way and go over to writing. So in writing, this is basically settings that relate to your post. So it's going to show you default post categories, and default post format. Now, these two settings help you in the blog post. So if you remember when we were over to post, so if I click on add new, let me open this in new tab. So we have, although the whole settings here have changed a bit, but don't. So if you know here, if you have these categories, so it has the default. If you want to change the default category, so if you want all your posts to be default to a specific category, you can always edit that here. So I want all my posts to be default with learning, or probably personal, because if it's in my personal website, so everything should be personal as default. Then you can always change this if you want. And default post format, so if I want it to be chat, gallery, link, image, whatever, I can always make it. So I just like to leave it as standard. And mail server, you can always edit this if you want to send mail using WordPress. Since I'm not going to be doing that, I'm going to leave it this the way it is. So if you have edited all that, just save changes. But I didn't touch anything also. So let's go over to reading, which is one interesting part. Now, reading is basically editing what people see. Let me put it this way. Now, when people come to your website, the first thing we notice is what? The blog posts that are here. You can always edit that in reading if you don't want people to see blog posts first. On my website, when you get to my website, the first thing you see is not the blog post. The first thing you see is actually my own profile. So you can always edit this if you don't want it to just look like this. Fine. So in reading, so your latest post, that's the setting that is here. That's why we see post first. You can always change it to a different page. If you have designed a new page, you can always so how many posts should it show? At most 10. Syndication feeds that shows most recent 10 items. Also for each post in field, full text or summary, depending on whatever you want, you can always change. And now this setting, search engine visibility. It's advisable to do not check this button at all if you want your site to be indexed by Google and to have better SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. So if I search, not SWO, I meant SEO. So we have search engine optimization helps to the quality and quantity of the website traffic by increasing visibility to your website. So basically, if you want Google to be able to show your website in results, search results. So these websites were indexed by Google. What it simply means was that Google found that the information the user needed are on this website. So that's just basically how it works. So you can leave this unchecked. Then we go over to discussions. Now, basically, every setting here is based on user's preference. So if you want to do edit any setting here, so comment author must fill out name and email. Remember, on my website, if you wanted to comment, you can always check it out. You have to fill in your name and email. You can always uncheck this if you don't want them to do that. User must be registered and logged in to comment. So if you want every user to be a registered user before they can comment. So you can track changes. You can sure do that. If you don't want to do any of that, fine. But if you do, don't forget to save. So we have graphitars here. So you can just choose the default graphitar you want. So I can just use retro and save changes. So if you see, mine has changed up over here also. So it's no more the same. So you can always do that. Then we have media. So basically, these are just default settings that you have for media. So what does thumbnail size mean? So you know it's 150 by 150, medium 300 by 300. You can always edit this to change to whatever you want. And permalinks. So permalinks, what permalinks simply means is how your link is being displayed. So if you check, if I right click and open this post in a new tab, I notice something. I have this quite long link here. So I have the year it was written, the month, the day, and the title. So you can always change that here. So we have date, time, and name. So we notice the same thing here, the same pattern, but we don't want that. We just want / the post name. So I can just click on this post name and save changes. And if we come back here and refresh, first of all, let's refresh and see something. It's not, we can't find that post, so we just close this and refresh this page again. So you can open this in a new tab and we find this. So you see there's no year or date in it, so it's just simple and the link looks better. So that's fine, and you can click on privacy to check the last part. So privacy policy, if you have a privacy policy page, so there was automatically one there, and based on all these GDPR and Google and everything issues happening around the world, it's advisable to have a privacy policy page for a website that you use. Also, you can always create a new one, or just if you already have one, you can just use it. So I don't want to touch any of that since we're just going over the setup. So now I promised to work with one plugin. So the plugin is called Elementor. So you can easily just search for, let's just search for Elementor. First of all, it's my favorite page builder. What does a page builder means? It's used to basically build pages on WordPress. So you don't have to actually write code to build beautiful pages. And this is one of the reasons why you find CMS called drag and drop. So Elementor makes it easy for me to just drag and drop elements to create a website, a beautiful looking page. So let's just go over to how to use that. So I will just go over to pages and close this tab. Close this. So I want to add a new page. We'll just work with a new page. So add new. So I want this page to be my home page, first of all, and I don't want to make much settings. So now if you look at this, we have Ocean WP settings. So this thing gives us the freedom to add more settings to each page we want. So I can change the content layout. Now let me just show you what that means. So publish, first of all. So I can view page. So you just see the page is just like this. So we have home. I don't want all this. I don't want this here, and I'll explain why later on. So I'm just going back. Now, first of all, let me view this page in a new tab, so we'll be able to see each change. So now next, I want the content layout to be full width, and just update. Then you might not notice any change, but you'll see it later on. Header, I don't want this space between here, so that's what's called a top bar. So I will just disable top bar and header. I want this header to look different. I don't like the way it looks like this, but I'll just leave that for now and just leave it as default. And also title, this is title, this home here is the title of the page, and I don't want any of that, so I just click on disable and update. So you can just refresh this page and you see it's all gone. So that space up here, the title, everything's all gone. So the next thing I want to do now is to edit this page and make it look better. So first of all, let me click on edit with Elementor first. So see, Elementor is loading. So first of all, we have a blank sheet and we have some things here by our left hand side. So these are elements in Elementor. These are called elements to help us build something looking beautiful. Because yes, we have block editor in WordPress, but it's not as flexible and easy to use as Elementor. So I just want to create something simple and straight to the point. So first of all, I want basically a big page here with picture at the background and text in the middle, something we did with the post. So let's first of all, I will add, you see this plus button here, I'll just click on add new section and I click on this. So I just want a full section, and you see that this section ends here. I don't want that. I want it to be full width. So I can just say stretch section. So you see it touches the edge. So after doing that, I click on update. Now, after doing that, I can add text, but I don't want to do that. I can just simply add a text, just drag and drop, simple, and say heading. And after doing that, this is center. Click on style, make the color. Let's leave color for now. Let's add typography. So I like this font called Muli, M-U-L-I, and the size I want it rem. So increase the size. The weight, let's give it a bit of weight. Then basically that's all. And click on update. After doing this, we can click back on this button here and click on this section button here, edit column, and go over to style, and under background you see background type classic, gradient, slideshow. So I just want classic. So I want to add an image. So I just want to use this image here and insert media. So you see the image is not actually showing very well. So first of all, I want to add a position to the center, attachments, default, repeat, no repeat, size, cover. So once I'm done with that, I click on update. You see it's not really showing us what we want. So I click on advanced and give it padding. So I'll use percentage and uncheck this. So I'll make the top 10, the bottom 10, and better to make it 20, top and bottom 20, and update. So to view our changes without going to the page every time, so I can just click on this preview change, this eyes icon. So once I do that, so this is the way it will look on our website. This is fine, but we don't want it to look like this. Now if you notice something else, we have this space here by our right and left. So let's explain how to do that. So first of all, I can open this in a new tab, and so I come back here and say content layout 100% full width, update. So and I refresh, still no change. We can come back here and click on this edit section. That's so content width is boxed, so we just want it to be full width. That's the only issue we had. So update. So automatically you notice it's refreshing by itself because of we clicked on this button, so we don't have to always come back here and refresh. So you see it's full width, no space. So we want to edit this to look better also. So now first of all, I want to make this text look cleaner, so just choose white. So you can still make it a bit bigger and update, so it looks cleaner. So the next part we want to add is just basically we want to add 2 sections. So we can click on this plus button again and add 2 sections. Now I don't want these 2 sections to be equal, so I can, you see, when I hover here, I have this button that I can always drag and drop. So I want these sections to be my section, so I can just leave it like that and go over here and add an image to this section and just inside the image, so it's straight to the point, no hard feelings. And in this text part, I want to have heading first, then I have text. So let me just go over them. So I just want to have heading, and let's edit that. So put center. Want to use black, and let's use Muli, and size, increase the size a bit. So now if you notice, everything here is just starting from the top, so don't forget to always update. So I want it to start from the center, so I can just, if you check the changes we have done so far, we have, it's looking like this, a bit rough but fine. So let's do that. So right click here, and now vertical align, we make our vertical align middle, so you see everything start from middle. So update. I think it makes more sense like this. So I want to make this my landing page, so we don't want the landing page we have on our website. So this is the way our website looks when so everybody comes to the website. We want to change this. We want to change this to what we are designing over here. So how do we do that? So if you come over to settings and we go over to reading, if you remember, we said we can always change that here. So you just click on a static page and select the page we want. So we want this home page to be our landing page, and say save changes. So if you come back here and refresh this, voila, we have a different page here. So Elementor helped us build this page, and we're able to set this page to be our landing page. So if you have any other question about what I've done, if you weren't able to follow at any point, you can always drop a comment and I'll definitely get back to you. And this is basically just how to set up your whole WordPress and explain. I think I've been able to explain how to use WordPress best. And in other upcoming tutorials, we're able to use Elementor to build a whole website and a good looking website. This is a bit quirky, but let's just leave it like that. Thank you very much and have a nice day.